Hello there folks, and how is it going? And welcome back to another video. We are in El Chaltén, which is essentially the kind of diving board, if you will, to this whole area. I suppose we're technically a bit north of where we were in the Fitzroy kind of mountain region. Usually you can kind of see it behind, but the cloud today has just been pretty heavy up there. But wow, this place is insanely gorgeous, and the town itself is really lovely, and from what I can see just ambling around now seems to be quite expanding quite a bit, so yay El Chaltén. But anyways, we continue our adventures through this wonderful area of Patagonia. So we are technically in Argentina, as we discovered last week from our travels. And this morning we got up, which was the end of last week's video, which didn't necessarily work out too well. Still a beautiful scene, but in terms of like seeing the mountain, unfortunately it didn't work out too well for us. But nonetheless, we all had a great time. In today's video, we are essentially going to chase some fall color or autumn colors, which I am really looking forward to. We are going to go exploring through some woodland. The idea is to essentially try our best to photograph some nice autumn colors. So fingers and toes crossed, the light holds, because it's a really lovely day and actually quite mild, and thankfully the wind has come down a fair bit, so it's beautiful ambling conditions. But today we are going to amble and see if we can find ourselves some nice autumn colors. So let's get going. So wow, this place is absolutely incredible. There is this beautiful waterfall. Now Brendan said, oh yeah, there's a waterfall, but I wasn't expecting it to be this gorgeous. And I have actually clambered across the water to get to the other side in the hopes of finding some kind of composition to utilize all of this absolutely wonderful fall color, or autumn color. I keep saying fall color, I have to remember I'm not American. But it is gorgeous, and I have very much heeded my own advice here, where I have the tripod out, but it's like just resting here, and I am just walking around shooting handheld to try and find a composition. Best advice I could ever give in a situation like this. But nonetheless, photo or no, it is absolutely marvelous here. Really gorgeous. So anyways, we shall continue our search, and let's see if we can find that perfect composition. Welcome friends to the ASMR photography studio, and welcome to quite possibly one of the most beautiful places I have ever seen in my entire life. Now this first set of images that we are going to go through, so there's only two, so not to worry, it's not a huge amount. I crossed over the river, albeit to the detriment of my socks, but I struggled a bit to find any kind of really good kind of compositions that would do this place justice. I managed to shimmy off to the left into the water almost. Found myself sitting on a rock photographing these two compositions that are up on the screen for you now. Unfortunately, the waterfall is slightly obscured by the trees on the right, but one thing that's really marvelous about having a nice amount of time at a location, as you will see throughout the video, it gives you such a wonderful opportunity to walk around and really take your time at a spot and hone in on those kinds of compositions. And as you'll see, as I say, as we go through the video, the compositions, they just get a bit tighter and tighter, which is nice. But for now, this is a good start, and one that led itself for inspiration to blossom and bloom. So I have precariously placed myself in the middle of this absolutely gorgeous river. Now I have excluded the waterfall from this particular frame just because on the left side there is this absolutely gorgeous, really, really red little tree, and then it is then lovely and contrasted over on the other side of the water with the orange or the yellows. It's absolutely wonderful, and I am super low in the water, so I'm getting a really nice perspective and trying to use some of this rushing water to introduce some motion. I've got my just the soft grad on at the minute to keep the highlights in check because it's quite bright up the sky, but I might tilt down just a small bit and exclude the sky just to kind of make it a bit more kind of, you know, abstract, if you will. But it is absolutely gorgeous. The waterfall is beautiful, and I have taken some pictures, and if any of these pictures turn out to be any good, I will pop them up on the screen for you now and we shall walk through them. Classic ASMR photography lifestyle. This is pure magic. So here is the result of me putting my camera precariously close to the water. What a wonderful experience. A fair play to the tripod for being brave to sink itself down into the water for me. So thank you, Mr. Tripod. I really like this image. I like the fact that I just decided to remove the waterfall. You can't see it slightly in the background, but I'm happy that I was able to kind of get this nice line that leads us through the frame ultimately to the red on the left and the yellow on the right. And it's that beautiful contrast that you can find throughout this particular location that's marvelous. And one thing that really caught my eye after I had taken this picture was just finding these more simple compositions. With these two pictures that you're seeing now, I really love the fact that it's just the water in the foreground and then the beautiful color across the way. Really gorgeous example of using a nice foreground and a nice simple background. Really happy with how these two turned out. But this last picture for me, I think really is one of the best images from the day. It's a very clean picture of the waterfall. You've got this beautiful line created by the river that ultimately takes us up to the waterfall. And of course then being surrounded by the beautiful autumnal colors. One of the beautiful things about this spot is that tree that's off to the left of the waterfall. Gives you this really nice kind of mirroring effect of the cascading water, and then you've got this beautiful white tree that stands next to it. It's a really fun thing to play around with compositionally, and as you'll see later on, I do just exactly that. But it's like the white tree from Lord of the Rings, so keep that theme song in your head as we go through. Well, there are compositions for days here. Wow, these colors. I was just saying it to one of the guys on the group that I personally never get to see color like this. Like very rarely. I can't even remember when it was that I seen color like this, and it is truly spectacular. And oh my god, it's so beautiful. I found this really nice kind of composition here where we're looking through all of this lovely red, punching through into the waterfall in the background. So I really hope that one turns out because it's quite lovely. And now I'm just going to kind of seek and explore. Found a couple of nice abstracts and some, yeah, it's really great. It's really great. Absolutely wonderful. Explore mode activate. Let's keep going. So these three images that we are going to look at now, I think are some of my favorites taken from the entire trip. Again, just keeping things super simple for this first image. I just wanted to capture the color, the red and the yellow. Such a gorgeous combination, and I can see why people come back here time and time again to chase this autumn color. It's really magic. This next picture that we're looking at now, one of my favorites. You know what it's when I took it, I remember standing there thinking it's like a bonsai tree, and that's exactly the kind of vibe that I ultimately tried to create when it came to post-processing the image as well. Really vibrant. I absolutely love the red that's just nestled within this beautiful frame. It's such a wonderful thing to see, let alone photograph, but I am super happy with how this one turned out. And this last picture I think is really one of my favorites. For me, it kind of encapsulates that autumn color and that autumn feel to this whole area. You've got that stark dead tree that's just protruding through the top that adds this wonderful focal point to the frame, and then it is just shrouded in absolute beautiful shades of amber. Oh wow, I really love this picture, and I think probably could lend itself quite well to being printed, but let's see how we get on printing any of them, let alone this one. But I really love this set of images and I'm super proud of how they turned out. Wow, this is just stunning. I'm trying to figure, I absolutely have never seen color like this before in my entire life. It is incredible. And I really understand now why people chase this, because it is just really special. Really special. I have tried my best to come up above the canopy. I want all the bottom just to be color, and then this waterfall in the background. And that's ultimately what I'm trying to achieve here now. And thank God I don't have a polarizer, so I had to steal someone's, and I'm holding it in front. Classic Neil style, but nonetheless it seems to be working quite nicely. More for the reflection, or more for the glare on the waterfall than anything else, because the sun is behind a cloud and the colour really is lovely. It's just so beautiful, really just so beautiful. And the beautiful thing about this particular spot is I don't have to move and I can enjoy some coffee. So let's get shooting, and if any of these pictures turn out to be any good, I will pop them up and let's walk through them, classic ASMR photography lab style. It's really special, just so special, just marvelous. Essentially taking up the lower half of the frame, I just wanted it to be engulfed in autumnal colour, and then ultimately have the rest of the frame be this waterfall. For me, I'm really happy with how this image turned out, and I really love that kind of ethereal feel that the waterfall gives to the image. It's like something from an elvish kind of forest or something. It's a really wonderful sight to behold, and really happy with how this image turned out for sure. This image harkens back to what I was saying earlier about that tree that's just on the left side of the waterfall. It gives a real nice balance to the frames that you can capture with it. Again, it's just this sense of mirroring the waterfall with the tree. Really gorgeous. And I just began to kind of play around from that previous shot we were just looking at to this, and then ultimately to this picture that we're looking at right now. Again, I wanted to create this frame that this whole scene was just kind of nestled in, and for me really stands quite proud within that frame. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. Again, it's just got this really ethereal feel to it all, and of course thrown on a bit of Orton effect really helps to emphasize that kind of ethereal, elvish kind of vibe that I was ultimately looking to try and create. But wow, this place has just blown my mind, and the images that I captured throughout this day really are some of my favorites, and I am super duper happy with how they all turned out. Well, there is not a great deal I can say about this place other than it is pure magic, and I've probably said that a million times now at this stage, but wow, you could easily spend a week here. It is gorgeous, and the colors are just incredible. I really hope I was able to do the place some justice with any of the photographs that I captured. I'm really happy with what I was seeing on the back of the camera, so I hope everything that you have already seen has worked out. But even just shooting the little bits of video and all that kind of fun stuff has just been a real treat. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I am speechless at how wonderful it is. But nonetheless, we are going to head back to the van now, or the bus should I say. Very comfortable bus, by the way. And we are going to head back to the bus. I'm just rounding up, corralling the last of the group, and we are going to have some dinner, have an early night, because we have a very early start in the morning. So I'm going to leave this video here. This is just pure autumn colors. That's all I wanted it to be. And So if you like the video, then absolutely do give it a like, and if you fancy following along for more adventures like this one, then absolutely feel free to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Cheers.